Boker Tov, Shabbat Tov. Shabbat Tov. Parashat Chukat, we see that Moshe Rabbeinu offers to Edom, the country on the way to Eretz Israel, many concessions that perhaps if you allow Am Israel to go through you, we're going to make sure not to come and to destroy your country. We're going to go on the sidewalks. And even if we come to the point that we need your water, we're willing to pay for it, although Bnei Israel had their Miriam, they didn't need water. And all these Pesukim that tells us how Moshe Rabbeinu is trying to convince Edom that perhaps 3 to 5 million people can use this shortcut to get to Eretz Israel. And as you see, this is on the 40th year, and it's important for Moshe Rabbeinu that perhaps Edom would agree to him. But in the end, we see that Edom rejects. And even though that Moshe Rabbeinu is offering to pay for the water that they need to use, but they nevertheless rejected. Ramban says, what water they needed? They didn't need water, they had their Miriam. Perhaps Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to pay for the water that the sea or whatever waterway that they need to come to cross it. He was willing to pay for all taxes on the water as well. Something that usually you can't really make money from. So over here, Edom had many opportunities to make some good money, but they rejected it. So the pasuk tells us, "Vayima'en Edom." There is a vertical line right after Vayima'en, which in Diktukei, Korim, those who read Torah, they need to stop. Vayima'en Edom. The obvious question is, there shouldn't be a wall, there shouldn't be a pause, right? Vayima'en Edom means Edom refused, right? So why there is a pause? It should all be continuous. So Rabbi Frand Shelita explained from one of the Mefarshim that Vayima'en Edom is coming to teach us a big lesson in Judaism, in Yahudut. That Vayima'en stopped. Who stopped? Not Edom. Stopped, refused, right? Didn't allow. Hashem didn't allow. Edom is just, it's just something that we see it on the surface, right? Moshe Rabbeinu offered all of these concessions, they didn't accept. It wasn't that they didn't accept. Hashem didn't want them to accept it. So that's why there needs to be a separation between the word refuse, did not accept Vayima'en, and then Edom. So Rabbi Frand was explaining that perhaps this comes in the right time. Davar Veitom Atov, just a few days away from the big talk that is going on between Iran, all the countries, US, Europe, right? It's a deadline. It's a deadline. Even though that Israel, all the politicians, Netanyahu and everyone is trying to convince, right, US not to agree to them, but nevertheless Hashem is coming to tell us a lesson. If they go ahead with the agreement, if they go ahead with all these concessions and they don't listen to Eretz Israel or the Jewish people and all the right politics, in the end is not that they are making the decisions. No. As our Chachamim tell us, Lev, Melachim, V'Serafim, B'Yad Hashem, that eventually whatever they decide is something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu potentially can put in their heart and their mind, and it is up to Hashem. So B'Ezrat Hashem, with knowing this lesson in the right time, we should direct our tefillot and our kavanot to Almighty Hashem, that Ribono Shel Olam should help us in these times of big decision makings, that B'Ezrat Hashem there should be only good decisions in the benefit of Eretz Israel, Am Israel, Benomar, Amen.